Hello and welcome to this MBL webinar on managing social engineering risks in financial services. My name is Robert Bateman, and over the next half hour, we are going to look at why social engineering remains such a persistent route into financial institutions, how the techniques have developed over the last 2 years, and what firms are expected to do about it. I'm approaching this subject primarily from a data protection and compliance perspective. So we'll consider the security obligations under the UK GDPR, the circumstances in which an attack becomes a personal data breach, and the relationship between data protection and operational resilience. This section is aimed at compliance professionals rather than IT specialists. So we will discuss technical controls only at the level needed to assess whether procedures, governance, and oversight are appropriate. Just briefly, by way of background, I am a data protection consultant and outsourced data protection officer, working with clients, some of which are involved in financial services, insurance technology, and other sectors. A significant part of my work involves assessing vendors, including payment processors and biometric identity verification providers. So that includes looking at access controls, staff vetting, incident response procedures, and the allocation of responsibility between controllers, processors, and other service providers. I also help organizations draft and test the incident response and verification procedures we'll be discussing today. And several of the incidents in these sessions are ones I followed from initial disclosure through to the later regulatory and corporate findings. So here's the plan for the session. We'll begin with the current threat landscape and the development from conventional phishing to more targeted forms of impersonation using cloned voices, synthetic video, and compromised support processes. We'll then look at the structure of a typical business email compromise attack, which is usually the final stage of an organized process rather than an isolated mistake. We'll consider 3 case studies. The first is the deepfake fraud involving Arup in Hong Kong. The second concerns the attacks on the US insurance sector in 2025, associated with the commonly known group as Scattered Spider. The third is the Coinbase incident, which has a particularly strong data protection angle. From there, we'll turn to the legal framework, covering Article 32 of the UK GDPR, personal data breach reporting, the FCA's operational resilience rules, and DORA. We'll finish with verification controls, internal reporting, and measurement.